The storm came faster than the forecast promised. One moment, I was driving across the frozen plains of Epsilon Ridge, watching the pale sun crawl toward the horizon. The next, the sky darkened as if someone had pulled a curtain across the world. Snow began to fall sideways, sharp as glass shards. The wind howled like something alive and angry. My rover's heater sputtered, then died. I slammed the console. Nothing. Battery power drained faster than it should have. The temperature inside dropped with alarming speed, and my breath began to fog the visor of my environmental mask. Epsilon Ridge was a mining frontier outpost on the edge of human-settled space. We'd come for rare isotopes under the ice. We'd also learned, too late, that the planet's weather did not care about human ambition. I checked the map. The nearest colony dome was 12 kilometers away. In good conditions, a 40-minute drive. In this storm, I wouldn't make it a kilometer before freezing solid. Then I saw it. A shape protruding from the ice half buried in snow, a structure not on any of our charts. A shelter. Old. Rounded. Made of alloy that shimmered under frost. I didn't think. Survival rarely allows philosophy. I dragged myself out of the rover, every step against the wind like pushing through invisible walls. My boots sank into drifts. My fingers numbed inside gloves. The shelter door had no handle, just a recessed panel. I slammed my palm against it. For a moment, nothing. Then a faint hum. The panel split open with a sigh of pressure equalizing. Warm air spilled out, carrying a scent I didn't recognize, metallic, floral, and strange. I stumbled inside just as the door sealed behind me. Silence fell. Warmth wrapped around my skin. My suit's temperature gauge stabilized. I pulled off my helmet and gasped in air that tasted clean, crisp, and faintly sweet. The room was circular, softly lit by glowing lines in the walls. Alien technology. No doubt. Not human. Not even close. I should have been terrified. Instead, I felt gratitude. I was alive. Then I heard the sound. A soft, uneven breath from the shadows. I turned slowly. She stood there, tall, slender, her form vaguely humanoid but clearly not human. Smooth silver-blue skin. Four delicate arms folded around her torso. Her head crowned with a crest of crystalline filaments that shimmered like frost. Two large black eyes reflected the room's light. She watched me without blinking. I froze. My training screamed at me. Unknown species, unknown intentions, unknown danger. Protocol demanded I retreat, report, wait for xenology specialists. But the storm outside had already decided my fate. I raised my hand slowly. I'm human, I said. I came in to escape the cold. I didn't know anyone was here. Her voice came not through sound, but directly into my mind, soft, layered, tinged with sorrow. You may stay. The storm would kill you. I exhaled shakily. Thank you. It has been a long time since anyone has come here, she said. I studied the shelter. It looked lived in, yet abandoned. A single chamber. No clutter. No decorations. Just functional surfaces and a dimly glowing central pillar emitting gentle heat. Who are you? I asked. Her gaze lowered. I am Vashare of the Kthari. This is my morning shelter. Morning. She turned slightly, revealing a wall panel etched with strange symbols. In its center was an image, a tall alien figure, similar to her, but larger, strong, regal. One of his arms reached toward her in the carving. My mate, she said simply. He died here. I swallowed. I'm sorry. Her eyes flickered with something deep and old. Your species has only recently come to this world. You do not know what lies beneath its ice. I sat slowly on the smooth floor, still shaking from cold and adrenaline. Then tell me. And so she did. Long before humans arrived, the Cathari explored this system. Their ships traveled by bending gravity itself. They sought worlds rich in rare energies. Epsilon Ridge had been one such world, beautiful, harsh, and full of buried power. But beneath the ice slept something dangerous. An ancient energy anomaly, unpredictable and violent. Her mate had led a research expedition to contain it. Something went wrong. The anomaly surged. Their ship crashed. The crew died. Only Vashare survived, sheltering here for decades, maintaining containment systems buried deep below. If I leave, she said, the anomaly may awaken again. I remained to guard it. I listened stunned. And no one came for you? Our people assumed all were lost. I chose to stay rather than risk the galaxy. There was no self-pity in her tone. Just duty, grief, endless patience. I thought of humanity. Young, loud, reckless. We'd landed here for mining, ignorant of what slept below our boots. If my people keep drilling, I said slowly, could they trigger it again?
Yes.
My stomach tightened. I imagined the colony dome 12 kilometers away. Thousands of lives, families, children, people laughing in warm halls, unaware of what lurked beneath the ice. What happens if it awakens? I asked. Vashare closed her eyes. A wave of sensation hit me. Images of light tearing continents apart, oceans boiling, skies burning. Not just this world. Energy cascading outward into space. A planet killer. Maybe worse. I steadied myself. Then we have to warn them. You cannot survive the storm to return, she said. She was right. The storm outside howled louder now. My rover was dead. No communications. I thought hard. Humans are not the strongest species in the galaxy. Not the smartest. But we are stubborn, creative, and sometimes reckless in ways that save lives. What if, I said, we work together? Her eyes narrowed slightly. You are fragile, short-lived. Why risk yourself for strangers? I smiled faintly. That's kind of our thing. Over the next hours, we worked side by side. Vashare guided me through alien consoles. I rigged power reroutes with jury-rigged cables from my suit battery. We redirected energy to an old beacon system buried beneath the shelter, something capable of punching a signal through the storm. My fingers bled. My muscles ached. More than once, I thought we'd fail. But humans are good at improvising under impossible conditions. Finally, the beacon pulsed to life. A message shot skyward. Unstable anomaly under Epsilon Ridge. Cease all drilling. Evacuate immediately. We watched the console until confirmation lights flickered green. The message had reached orbit. Relief washed over me. Then alarms blared. Vashare stiffened. The anomaly sensed the power surge. Containment is weakening. The shelter trembled. What do we do? I asked. She looked at me with ancient sadness. I must ascend to the core and reinforce the seal manually. I may not return. I grabbed her arm, smooth and cold. You're not doing that alone.
You will die, she said.
Maybe, I replied. But if we both go, we might succeed. And I didn't come all this way just to freeze or hide. For the first time, something like warmth flickered in her eyes. Then come human. We descended through a hidden hatch into tunnels of alien metal stretching deep into the ice. The air grew hot. A pulsing hum shook my bones. Light flickered like a heartbeat from below. At the core, a sphere of writhing energy strained against containment fields. Colors I had no names for rippled across reality itself. Vashare moved with purpose, placing her hands on crystalline pillars around the sphere. I followed her instructions, stabilizing circuits, reinforcing failing conduits, burning my hands in the process. The anomaly roared silently, soundless, but crushing. My vision blurred. My heart hammered. Almost, I shouted. The final circuit snapped into place. A surge of light filled the chamber. Then silence. The sphere calmed. The hum softened to a quiet, steady rhythm. Containment restored. I collapsed, gasping. Vashare stood tall, crest shimmering.
"It is done," she said.
We climbed back to the shelter slowly. I expected her to collapse too, but she remained upright, though her movements were slower now, her glow dimmer. "You're fading," I said. "My lifespan has long been spent." The shelter sustained me. The effort drained what remained. I swallowed hard. "You saved my people. My world's colony. I'll make sure they know your story." Her eyes softened. "Your species has much to learn. But perhaps one day, you will stand among the guardians rather than the careless." "I promise," I said. "We'll respect this world now." Outside, the storm had passed. Pale sunlight filtered through frost-covered walls. Vashare lay down beside the carved image of her mate. "I am no longer alone," she whispered. "I go to him." Her body shimmered, dissolving into fine crystalline dust that scattered like snow. I stood in silence for a long time. Then I put on my helmet and stepped outside. The sky was clear. My rover was dead, but I would walk if I had to. Humanity needed to know, needed to change, needed to understand that the universe was older, stranger, and far more fragile than we assumed. As I began the long trek toward the colony, I glanced back at the shelter half buried in ice. A lonely tomb, a sacred duty fulfilled, and a promise forged between two species in the heart of a storm. Humanity had entered the stars thinking we were alone. We were not. And thanks to one widow alien and one stubborn human, the galaxy was still safe for another day. The storm had passed when I stepped outside. The sky was clear, the wind silent, the world calm again. Behind me, the shelter stood still and quiet, its guardian gone. I didn't look back as I started walking toward the distant lights of the colony. My legs shook, my hands burned, and grief sat heavy in my chest, but I was alive, and I carried a warning that could save thousands. Humanity had come to this world seeking profit beneath the ice. Now we would learn respect instead. Somewhere beneath the frozen ground, an ancient danger slept once more, and a widow's sacrifice would not be forgotten.